all zebra talk.
Wait, it's all zebras?
I don't know.
Always has been.
Always have been.
I like it when I can see your names light up. Now there's too many people in the channel.
Okay. So I think we're probably good to go ahead and get this kicked off. Is that good with everyone else?
I'm good.
Let's go.
Awesome. So
Yeah,
I wanted
I'm great.
to. Awesome. Perfect. So I wanted to introduce everyone. I'm for starters, I'm Wiser. For those of you who have not met me yet, I am on the business development team. I started like a lot of the people, like a lot of the other people on the team, as just an early investor turned passionate Hogler. And so I eventually just kept bugging the devs with question after question and suggestion after suggestion until eventually they were like, okay, listen, we need to put you on a team. And since then, I've been mostly focusing on partnership creation, fundraising, and working with the different other businesses. I think most people here know Hogeman, but in case Hogeman, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, I am here 14 hours a day. I have no life. Hoge is my life. My official position now is Chief Technology Officer. So I manage all of the technology programs and integrations and help them support the business efforts and direction. But mostly I just try to work with the community to help them do cool stuff.
Awesome. And then we also have the world famous Jay Rocco with us today.
Yeah, I don't know about world famous, so I'll just go with J Rocco. How about that? Yeah, so I started out like most of these guys. I wasn't really too early. I came in very beginning of March, late February, and just was getting really sick and tired of having my wife tell all of her friends about this awesome thing called Hoge, and you should ask my husband how to sign up. So I just started creating videos on showing them how to do it. Maybe it's part laziness, maybe it's just part I don't want to keep doing it. So here I am. I've met with Hujman and Snake and the team and Recon and Mesh, and they've all been really great. And, offered me to come help out with the marketing group, and one thing led to another, like these guys, and just kind of fit in to where I can.
Awesome. And today, I believe we have Intricate Lotus is going to be moderating the Discord and feeding us some of these questions from the AMA. So first, I guess, I think we should potentially start talking about what everyone is here for, which is the new exchange that we are moving towards. And if for starters, I just let me say this is something I'm really excited about. What's interesting, I actually did not see too many people guess it correctly. There was a couple people who guessed it correctly in the Telegram that I've seen. But this is something I'm super excited about. This is going to offer us a ton of opportunities, ton of potential partnerships, sponsorships, and some really great market penetration that I think will benefit us a whole lot. On that note, is there anything that Hogeman or J Rocco, is there anything you want to jump into and mention first?
No, I think we should start with the exchange. I think you had a little video lined up.
Well,
Yes.
before we get started,
Yeah, go ahead.
I do want to shout out to our awesome web development guys. I'm not sure if y'all been to the website, but they've added the new announcement section. And so if you go to Hoge.finance, see some awesome new announcements they posted out there. This is going to be our source of truth. If you have a question about something that may be going on, go to our webpage. We're going to have the announcements. We have our social media channels. And of course, we have nation.hoge.finance where you can actually talk about the things like the DAO coming up. What's your opinions? We want to hear them. You are the community. You are the owner of this new awesome foundation that, take some pride in. Go ahead, Wiser.
Yeah, absolutely. That is going to be our new source of truth, and definitely big shout out to them. Also, big shout out to our very own Alex who created this video. And yeah, this is going to be our intro into the new exchange. So without further ado, let me just share my screen, and we'll begin to show everyone. Here you go.
So you guys need to click on the AMA voice channel and click watch stream.
Yeah,
So
so
why
click on
is
AMA. Make sure you can see all everyone's faces right now as I share my screen. Hogeman or J Rocco or Intricate, just let me know if you can't hear the voice or anything. If you can't hear the sound.
So I cannot find the watch stream button. Oh Christ, there's so many.
That's where I'm at.
If you scroll to the top and then just click on the AMA itself. And then don't worry.
You must have very special powers.
Oh, here you go. Can you see my stream now?
Yes, it's in the top left.
Okay. Can everyone see it?
There we go.
Perfect. And our very own Hoge historian will be sharing this to the chat right afterwards. So as soon as we finish watching this video, if you want to watch it again or if you missed it, Hoge historian will be sharing it to the chat. So feel free to take a look. And here we go. Yeah. Alrighty, so could everyone see that? I assume so.
No, there was a limit on the viewers, but if you guys go to announcements,
okay, there's a limit on the viewers.
That's fine.
You want to tell them who it is?
Yeah. So it is now, I believe, should be posted in the announcements. So feel free to check out the video. And I think our very own Hoge historian should be posting it there, or Hogeman should be posting it there soon. Yeah. So as that's being posted, yeah, I will say now it is. We are now going to be listed on BigOne. BigOne is a fantastic exchange that we've been working really hard to move towards. We've been dealing with them for a while and trying to get onto this exchange. This exchange has tremendous volume, and they are providing a lot of partnerships and sponsorships. They're going to help us a whole lot. They are going to help break us into something. It's a personal passion project of mine. Is breaking into especially the Korean market, the Asian market overall, but especially the really booming Korean market. So the new exchange will be BigOne. There's a whole lot we can say about it. We're going to go over the plan for how we plan on moving forward with them, the marketing campaign that they plan on releasing for Hoge, and a lot of different partnership opportunities that are coming up in the couple of following weeks. But J Rocco, do you have anything you want to say?
Yeah, I mean, to echo off what you're saying, these guys have consistently been the top 25. In fact, yesterday I think we were thinking they were going to be breaking the 1918 barrier. Consistently this week, also ahead of crypto.com. In fact, if you look right now, they're at 25 and crypto's at 21. But awesome partnership. These guys are dead to rights as far as getting us involved and really just hooking us up with their marketing team, giving us all kinds of extra support and help, including they want to translate our white paper to various different languages to help us out. So awesome partnership. They're all in. They've got amazing volumes, got amazing weekly visits. Just a great platform for us.
Yeah, absolutely. And Hogeman, did you have anything you wanted to chime in with?
No, it is a technically competent exchange.
which is rare these days.
It is rare.
Actually, I mean, if you want me to ramble on that, I'll give you 2 minutes. It's a lot of the exchanges are somewhat copy paste because the base code you can find on GitHub, so you can launch your own exchange with minimal effort. And so a lot of the interfaces as well use the same JavaScript library. So it's nice to see them actually putting development effort into making a good product instead of just trying to suck up new coins and make a little bit of money in fees.
Yeah, exactly. So I quickly wanted to go over some of the marketing campaign that they're going to be going over with us. So one of the big things is that there will be, okay, I guess we'll just start listing off some of these awesome deals that we're getting from BigOne. So there's going to be an announcement on main screen, which is China's top blockchain media news. There's going to be an announcement with Hello BTC. Hello BTC is a pretty big leading media for popular science in the blockchain industry. There's going to be a huge announcement on Bihu.com, a well-known digital currency social community. There is going to be Bikaibao, which is pretty big in Asia. It's one of the biggest blockchain media platforms in Asia. There is going to be promotions to communities and promotions on Naver.com. There are going to be 3 articles published with us through BigOne in major publications throughout Asia. So really what this is really going to be helping us do, for starters, is really helping us break into the Asian market, getting us established there. We're working with marketing firms, we're working with PR firms to get us plugged into the community to see how we can thrive in Asia. It is the biggest and the fastest growing crypto market right now. This will be huge for us. And we're working at that on our ends. We have Korean and we have Chinese rooms that set up for the Telegram. We're going to have a lot of translation services, which is something Jay Rocco's working really hard on. And on top of that, they are going to register the project, help us register to famous platforms like MyToken. They are going to be issuing 3 different newspaper letters. There's going to be real-time AMAs with media both in the US and China. There is going to be, and this is also very big, there's going to be a main screen banner display for 5 whole days. So the 5 days leading up to us listing, they are going to be listed. We're going to be listed on the front page, which is huge. I mean, these guys have a ton of real valid users with real volume. And they're going to be helping us with a lot of business networking, setting us up with different marketing campaigns, like I said, VCs, everything like that. So they're really going to help us get plugged into the community and get plugged into the crypto economy there. To that, sorry, I know just went over a whole lot. A bunch of exciting stuff. We could spend all day talking about it. But J Rocco, do you have anything you wanted to add to that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think for one, what we spoke about, the Asian market is huge. Asia, Japan, Korea, all these different Asian markets are one of the leading buyers of crypto in the world. So opening our doors up to them is going to be exponential growth for wallet holders. And above all else, what a company or what an exchange to be with. The level of partnerships they have throughout the different markets, their willingness to actually spend money on marketing and helping us connect with these people. And I think you had mentioned the influencers. I mean, they're going to have an influencer talk about us on several. I think that there was about 100 different, was it WeChats and groups that they're going to start connecting us to. So it's
Yeah, they said
amazing.
multiple influencers, one Asian influencer and one American influencer as well.
Yeah, that's amazing. And so if you look at their map, I don't know if you guys are looking at their map right now. They're only in basically every single country except for 2, and that's the U.S. and South Sudan. So if you're in Greenland, if you're in Canada, if you're in Mexico, if you're in any of these countries, it's going to be for you as well. So this is a huge, huge thing, and really helps fill up a lot of gaps that we were missing as far as the different countries. But yeah, so Hojman, what do you think about that?
I mean, it's pretty awesome. I just do the tech side. I really don't have a lot to do with the business development, but yeah, it's pretty great.
Yeah, we're super excited. We really think this is getting us plugged into the Asian economy, and I think it's going to be a huge step forward for us. I know that actually, if you want to, we can talk a little bit about what we're doing to try and jump into that market as well. We actually have a team together, which J Rocco is a part of, and we also have Hoge Historian as a part of it, and Alex is a part of it, and really our whole meme army is a part of it, where we're going to be really jumping forward with taking a lot of our existing memes and creating new memes, creating Chinese, Korean versions of them, getting ourselves plugged into the market there. We have a marketing firm that this exchange BigOne will be introducing us to and paying for us for, and they are going to essentially really help get us plugged into the meme community of Korea and of China. So we're really excited about that too. But definitely, it's huge about the map. The map is very, very large. The map is literally covering every country on Earth except for 2 of them. And so it's going to be really help for global penetration a whole lot.
And so this might ask for the community, right? So the dev team, the business team has done an amazing job securing this amazing exchange. Our job as in the community is now to go develop some memes, develop content, come to your friends. We have a YouTube channel that's in English. I like to have one that's in every language. We have memes that are mostly in English. Let's get them in every language. If you speak Spanish, let's make some memes. If you speak, Thai, if you speak Somalia, if you speak any of these languages, let's do it. Let's make some memes and let's start recruiting some people. Because ultimately, we are a community-driven coin. Well, token. So if you're not doing this, who is?
Absolutely. The another thing, so I think we are actually fair to mention now, or I think we're okay to mention the listing date.
Yeah, let's go for it.
So our official listing date is going to be next Friday, the 16th. We should be available right at midnight on Friday the 16th. And so I think that's yeah, we should it's going to be a very fast timeline. We're going to be up on their banners right away. And we're going to start seeing some of their marketing campaigns right away. And so we should be able to trade on there very soon. I believe Jay Rocco is also going to create some really fantastic educational videos to help show people how to get on there, how to buy everything. And we're going to work together with the exchange on that as well.
Yeah, that'd be great. And worst comes to worst, we can do a couple job aids like we have on our page now, the Hoge Finance. A couple little quick cards, graphics, make it really easy for people to sign up, buy us. Weiser, you want to tell us a little about the pairing? What does it look like to actually buy Hoge on their platform?
Yeah, so this is really cool. We really like that. So there are two pairings that we're going to get this time, as opposed to a lot of the other changes you'll see where there's just one pairing. The two are going to be USDT and Ethereum. So you can bring USDT or Ethereum and you can trade on both. And so traditionally for an exchange, that's not too common unless you pay these exorbitant fees to be able to trade on multiple tokens. So yeah, that's something we're also really excited about.
Sounds good. Well, I'm open for some questions unless we have anything else.
Cool. I think we got some good ones in here. So I'm just gonna. I got a good one about how our legal entity has been coming along, and how the developments along that path has come.
Yeah. So I mean, it's still stuck in like French paperwork.
I kind of figured that was going to be our answer.
Yeah, it's looking like it will clear up by the end of next week, but don't hold me to that date. From everything I've heard from Core, it's like, yes, we know it's important and we need to move along with this. Unfortunately, we cannot prod the French government. Aside from that, we have papers back from the lawyer team that Mark is working with, and also Andrea does a lot of this on her own. And so they are working together to have our first draft of the nonprofit association articles for the entity that will be in Switzerland. So again, that's just a first draft, and there are technicalities with how are we going to transfer control of the company over to the nonprofit, and then how are we going to ensure that the nonprofit can be governed by the community. But suffice to say, that is in motion, and I was so mad about this. Like yesterday or the day before, I was yelling in one of the core meetings, and they were like, "It's coming, it's coming." So I share your frustrations if you want this to go faster, but it is what it is. So that's where we are.
Yeah, it's hard to twist a whole government's arm.
Mm-hmm.
But it's
mostly
moving
because
along.
our community wants to do stuff and we don't want to stand in the way, right? That's what frustrates me.
Unfortunately, paperwork kind of takes a while.
Yep, but rest assured that France has the strongest trademark laws in the world, and so that's why we chose France. And Swiss has the most crypto-friendly nonprofit laws in the world, which is why we chose Switzerland.
Can you explain some of these trademark laws? Like what happens if someone infringes on our trademark?
So if you infringe on a trademark, we go before. So you and the offending person will go before a judge, and you will say, "I think you used my name, likeness, logo, etc. You basically tried to use the image of me to promote your own product." And what happens is you make a case. If they copied your your business model and intentions exactly, it's an easy case. If it was just like similar, then it's a little bit of a harder case. But if you are able to prove that they are using your likeness, that is the word in the US law anyway, if they're using your likeness to gain profits, you are entitled to all of the profits they have made and all of the royalties and royalties from the profits they will make in the future if you should decide to settle with them. You can also just take their money and shut them down completely. You can ask Disney how how this went for them, because that is like their business model for 80 years or something.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So maybe us as a community can vote on which coins we want to take out, and then use that money for a charity or something. You know, the charity.
Yeah, so there's a statute of limitations on the law, but rest assured that anyone that has misappropriated the Hoge name since its inception will come under fire if we think it's, worth our time.
On the subject of the BigOne and our pairings, I'm going to combine two of these questions here. Along with our Ether and USDT pairings, are there plans in the pipeline for future pairings on BigOne?
That is a great question, and that is something that we can actually, and that will essentially be community decided. That is something that we can negotiate post contract, so we can add it after we actually list with them. It's something that we talked about with a couple different exchanges, but yeah, we can add it after we list. There will be a fee, but if the community decides that that's what they want, then yes.
Cool. And then to kind of tie into that, so that was a question from our Discord channel. Over here on the Twitch stream, MLoPonte27 asks, will you have to buy Ether from another exchange, or can you buy directly off of BigOne?
Wiser should know the answer, but you can go fiat to Ethereum on BigOne. Absolutely.
I think that's going to make it a lot easier for people, to be honest.
Yeah.
Questions? What else we got?
Let's see here. What are your expectations for the exchange, and why did you choose this specific one?
Well, I can probably talk about expectations. Wiser, you probably want to do the why you want to choose this one, but expectations for this exchange, right? This is going to put us in more markets we've ever been in, more countries, more homes, more people. I think exponentially. They talk about how once we get to a certain number of people, we become parabolic. I think that number is around 150,000. I think this may take us close to or around that parabolic spot. The spot where if you are a hogler right now or hogler right now, and you're in there even with a million tokens, you're going to be feeling pretty good here in a couple of weeks, I think. I'm not a financial advisor. Obviously, do your own research, but it's kind of hard to downplay a global exchange like this. And Wiser, if you want to talk about why we chose them, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, why we chose this. So actually, as we started looking at the exchanges, first off, one thing we didn't quite mention, but I think Jay Rocco posted it to the Telegram earlier and to his Twitter, is it's super important to notice the jump up in exchanges that we've had from this. Like previously, our highest ranked exchange was Whitebit. And Whitebit's awesome. We love them, but they are not necessarily one of the top 30 exchanges. So we're jumped way up the charts to get to BigOne. And as we jumped up these charts, we tried to look for, first off, which meets our needs and our use cases best. We've been saying for a while, like especially jumping into this booming Korean market, this is something that we really want to do. And I actually just saw someone post a question from Ket, who was saying historically American and European businesses have a very hard time breaking into the Eastern markets. However, that's why we went with them, is because they came to us and they said, listen, it is going to be difficult breaking into these markets, and we're going to set you up with the perfect people to help you do that. There are these people that specialize in exactly this. There are these marketing firms that we're going to set you up with that help bring you into the Korean, the Japanese, the Russian, the Chinese, the Indian markets. They're going to really help with it. So that's a big part of why we went for them. They had a fantastic deal for us as well, and all the marketing they were going to do for us, how excited they were to go with us, really showed that this is going to be a long-term partner that we're going to grow with. So I think that and not to mention they have amazing volume, and they have a lot of trading going on there and a lot of users, and can get us in front of a lot of people.
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing I want to really point out, I want to stress that the core team, the dev team, the business teams, the marketing team, just phenomenal work the last 3 weeks, right? You're talking about putting in legal, you're talking about putting in processes and flows and making sure that everything runs smoothly. Because let's be honest, when we hit Wipe It, we went up 1,600%. Nobody was ready for that. I wasn't ready for that. I didn't expect that. I mean, who would have thought 1,600%, right? And so now I think we're going to be much more prepared from a website perspective, from a process flow perspective, and really just from a community perspective. I mean, we're a lot better off now than we were, yesterday or last week or 3 weeks ago. So props to the community for just being amazing. Y'all are just killing it out there for sure.
Here's another
Absolutely.
good one from the Twitch channel. Swift Killer Khan asks, if I am a Hogler on Uniswap, how will this new listing affect my holdings, and how do I take advantage of the new listing on BigOne?
That sounds like a Hogeman question.
Yeah, you would. That was lecturing wiser with my very basic understanding of economics the other day. So typically the way you think about it is a new exchange expands the market for Hoge. Although the price that you see on Uniswap and DEX tools is only from one exchange, that's the Uniswap exchange, the more people that want to participate in buying and selling Hoge, the higher the price will generally be. Supply and demand economics is one model you could apply here, although it is not complete and it is not sufficient. It is somewhat true. So what happens is, let's say everyone goes to BigOne and they buy up a lot of Hoge. The buy side order book gets depleted and the sell side goes way up. You should spend some time on Investopedia looking up how exchanges work. But what will happen is the price on BigOne will be very large compared to the Uniswap exchange. At that point, people find out they can buy on Uniswap and it's cheaper and sell on BigOne. So it's called arbitrage. And so people will do this, and we have very sophisticated investors who do this all the time, especially in the Hoge community. And what this does is it brings the Uniswap price up some and then the BigOne price down a little bit. So there is some stabilization between all of the exchanges we list on. But generally, the more people that want to participate, the higher the price point will go. I hope that made sense. The best way to take advantage of it, I mean, I'm still holding on Ethereum network and a decentralized wallet. And I think if you aren't planning on like day trading, this is not financial advice, but that's what I would do.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I think the fact that we were built to hold, it just makes sense. I mean, why pay that 2% transfer somewhere else? I will say that when an exchange does come to my neck of the woods, I'll probably just buy it separately in addition to what I have now. I'm not going to transfer anything. Also, not financial advice.
So if you're participating on a central exchange, you're actually not doing the typical buy and hold for a long time, which is common for the decentralized tokens. The people who want to make like the good fast money, the day trading money, will buy and sell frequently on the exchange and try to guess at what the price point is going to be. Because if you have a good guess, then you can make money on like both sides of the order book. And so that's why we want to expand to exchanges, because Hoge becomes an attractive investment security, and that brings more people to the table.
Absolutely. We got another question?
Yeah, we've actually got quite a few good ones that have been coming in. I'd like to kind of get on the DeFi portion of Hoge here. What other DeFi features are you hoping to bring to the Hoge community as this coin is marketed as Doge, but DeFi?
That seems like another Hogeman question. That's crazy. 2 in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Hogeman, I'm putting you on the spot.
I want the game developers to be able to do, someone said it earlier, like the arcade game. You put in a nickel and you get Hoge back, right? Your tickets are now Hoge. So you can play the game and you can earn Hoge. Sometimes you don't even have to buy in if it's a small amount because Hoge is pretty cheap right now. It's way less than $1, so we could award you many units, as many fractions of Hoge for less than $1. So I want that to be a thing. I want us to explore how decentralized finance structures help bootstrap a community and an economy. And that's like a very broad way to say, I want to learn how we can do this without having a central bank. And I'm not like a crypto anarchist. I just think it's a very curious structure to incentivize people to invest, and Hoge is going very well for that. So from the DeFi perspective, we aren't, the core team is not building the next great technology. The community is exploring and building the technologies, and they want to do it with Hoge.
Yeah, speaking of which, there's a push on my end from a marketing perspective to create a wallet for your favorite nonprofit. Maybe not you create it, but you show them how to create it. We recently dropped a video last week. Hogeman was showing us how to create a wallet via MetaMask. And so you can create a wallet, or they can create a wallet, and then later on link it to us and say, hey, here's our wallet as a nonprofit. We now accept donations. Eventually, we will put that on our website for everybody to see the approved organizations that are trying to raise money for whatever cause they're doing. So if it's an animal shelter, if it's a dog charity that raises dogs for people that are visually impaired, this is all great things we want to help contribute to. And so get those nonprofits involved. Let's bring them up to the the new century here and really just advance them as well as advancing ourselves in the process.
Absolutely. That wallet is something I'm really excited for.
I can't remember exactly how the question was phrased, but someone did ask earlier in our Discord AMA channel if we had plans to develop a Hoge wallet, Hoge specific wallet.
I think there were a few people iterating around that idea. I don't think it got off the ground yet, but I certainly saw 3 developers that were talking about it, and we told them go ahead, but I don't know if they might have gotten busy or something.
Yeah, that's one of those things that like really we encourage to be community driven. At the end of the day, this is a community coin. It's in your hands. And if you want to go after a project like that, feel free. There's really nothing stopping you.
I do see a question right here from Kane Made It. SafeMoon is pretty much a blank copy of Hoge. Are you concerned about copycats? No, we're not concerned. Personally, if you're talking to other people, we want people to be involved in crypto, right? It doesn't matter what crypto they are, we want them to be involved. Obviously, we don't want them to be involved into a.
Cute.
So the process of being
Kids are important.
They are, man. And you know what? People talk about you can sell and get a Lambo. Yeah, I probably could. But this is multi-generational what we're doing. This is going to change the lives of not our kids, but their kids. I mean, you have the opportunity to change and transform this organization into just a power for good. We're talking about charity. We're talking about giving back. We're talking about just building wealth past yourself. So I will say overall, this is community driven. We can use your help as a community to create memes, to spread the word. If there's a problem you're having, make a video on it. Let's put it on our YouTube. Let's show other people how to solve the problem that you're having. If you want to talk about what's going on, join a group. We have like 10 different social media channels, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, 3 different YouTube channels, a Twitch TV, live streaming. Get involved. We'd love to have your point of view and really, I mean, just amazing stuff. We had a guy named M. Fear who developed the esports league. If you want to play esports, get involved. We'd love to have you. But we are not afraid of other cryptos. And the reason why is because at the end of the day, we'll still be here. Other cryptos have come and gone. I think since we've been here, there's been 10 different variations of Hoge that have already folded. I think Fair Hoge was the latest one. There was, I think, Coge and Boge, and I can't tell you them all. There's so many.
I think the longest one I've seen would probably last about 4.5 days, and the quickest was probably only about 6 hours.
Exactly, and the reason why is because the community and our dev team. If you look at either of those, you know the reason why we're still here. So awesome job to the dev team and the roadmap. They're always updating it, always adding things to it. We couldn't ask for a better team. So thank you all for that question for sure.
We're all trying to get to outer space, but there's a reason they sent dogs first.
So yeah, another question.
This one kind of sounds more like a from a personal standpoint. Player 11000011 asks, when you started Hoge, did you ever expect to be hitting global exchanges or hitting the goals you have? How is the team feeling about the growth, support, and the goals you have hit so far?
You don't
Okay,
get much
so
sleep.
okay, all right. So we didn't start Hoge. Two developers started Hoge and many other token, and after about 3 days, they gave up on the project. What happened is there were I'd say about 300 people in the Telegram at that point that weren't willing to let it go. So the community knocked on the doors, metaphorically, of the developers and demanded control of the project. Really, we showed up and started iterating and building cool things together because we, had a little bit of time and found out it was actually kind of a chill place to be. So this is not a top-down run project. The developers that are there now came from the community. They did not launch the project with any specific goal in mind. So yeah, what was the second part of that question?
Let me scroll back to it here.
Did you ever expect it to get onto the global exchanges and be where it is today, I think?
Oh, right. So
Yeah.
in those dark times, the price point was 80 to 100 satoshis. In those dark times, I was thinking to myself, I can't speak for the other people, but I was thinking to myself, this isn't going to go anywhere unless I do something about it. Right? If you want something done well, just do it yourself. So I just started working. And I figured there's no reason I can't be on a global exchange. There's no reason I can't build this into exactly what I want it to be, along with the help of other people. And so, no, it doesn't surprise me at all. I think this is going as far as we want it to go. I don't know. What do you think, Wiser?
I mean, listen, I completely agree. I got in definitely after Hogeman, but I did the exact same thing. It's going to go as far as the community wants to take it. This is a community-driven project, like we said many times. We can't say that enough. And this, what I love about this community is filled with people like Hogeman who are like just have an idea, have the execution to go after it, and really create something beautiful. So at the end of the day, I think we're still at the beginning in terms of saying, oh, did we ever think we would get this far? I think everyone in this call will be saying, oh, did you ever think you would get this far a year from now?
Absolutely. And the level of talent that we've received from the community is ridiculous. Some of our developers are doctors, engineering. Some of them work on aeronautical engineering, doing rockets and trajectories and flight patterns and all that stuff. So these are the people that are working behind the scenes to make sure that this token is a success. And then you look on the other side, we have these amazing developers drafting up these NFTs, part of our artist room. Some of the local artwork you've seen on Twitter recently was from a guy who just posted on Reddit about a school project he was doing, and he's developing these prints once a week. Phenomenal work. When I say we are community, we are community. You have any skill at all, if you know how to code, if you know how to make a graphic design, if you know how to make a meme, get in touch. We're going to get you connected to the right people in the right rooms, and you can really make a difference. Oh, and to get in touch, just send us an email at marketing@hoge.finance, and we'd love to connect you.
Plenty of opportunities around here, I think. I've seen this question kind of bounced around between a couple mods as well as a couple community members here. How do we feel about getting on the BSC? I know that this kind of question has been hovering around the community for about the past 2 weeks.
Wiser,
And,
your go.
Yeah, Wiser,
No,
you're up.
no, this is you.
We picked on
Okay.
Hogeman enough.
Yeah. Okay. So here's the thing about the BSC. We have absolutely heard the community say BSC, we want it, we want it. Now, ever since the beginning, a lot of us on the inside have sort of thought that BSC is not a good idea and it's not good long term. We've always believed that it would give us a short pump. There was never any question about that. It would introduce some new volume right away and it would give us a short pump, and that might be great. but we really are trying to make the long-term success of this, and everyone on the core dev team, all they care about is the long-term success and growth of Hoge. And for those wondering, we've been running numbers because the community is still asking for it. So we've been running numbers, seeing if it's possible, seeing what iterations of that we can do, seeing we've had lots of talks in different Telegram group chats and different calls, different talks about like what could a wrapped BSC look like. Now I will say there is a lot of cost to doing that. I don't mean financial cost. I mean potential lost earnings cost. A lot of exchanges simply say, listen, we won't accept anyone on the BSC. So if we want to get onto these massive top 5 exchanges, a lot of them are already saying like, guys, we're very concerned about any coin that's on BSC or has BSC wrapped. But even with that being said, we still hear the community saying, well, this is what we want. So we're running the numbers, and even after running the numbers, unfortunately, it does seem like it's not going to be a good play long term. Again, I think there could be a short pump, but it is not something that will last in terms of moving ourselves over there. The Ethereum network is going to be blowing up. It's going to be very bullish, I think, this summer. Again, not a financial advisor, but the Ethereum with all the updates coming out to Uniswap, to Ethereum, to all that, it's going to be a very bright future for Ethereum. And we want to define ourselves as an ERC20 token. There's a million reasons. If you're still curious about it, please reach out to me. I can share a bunch of numbers with you and studies and everything. But it's definitely something we've looked into. So if you still have questions, feel free to reach out.
Yeah, I just want to piggyback on that a little bit. I mean, it seems like the crux of the issue that I was leaving out when I had most of these conversations was that if two systems are interacting, then any legal regulations on one system extend to the other system as well. And when you are on if we were to port Hoge to BSC, that means all of our current partners would fall under the legal regulatory domain of whoever BSC is based with. And so that is why they want to be a little bit careful about how it works. And they really don't want to reach out and drag in a token that has a legal envelope that's going to get them into trouble. So we can't just rush into BSC right now. It would hurt our partners, I think.
Yeah, exactly. And they've all told us that as well. They've said, listen, if like we listen, we've been talking to some huge exchanges, we've been talking to a lot of really great partners, and that is a common question that comes up is there a BSC wrap token? So it's just something that we're weighing the options. But for now, I think we're on a very good path. The core dev team has us on a really good path.
Cool. I got another one here. Ketchup asks, historically, American and European businesses/companies usually have a very hard time breaking into Eastern markets, and the cultural values are often difficult for Westerners to really grasp. Is there a reputable member in the Hoge dev team that has experience in those markets and may be taking the lead on marketing further BD or Asian socials?
So I think I actually read that question out earlier when it was first posted. I think I actually read it out when I was answering another question. But just to reiterate, I'll give you the gist of what I said last time. Yeah, it's a big part of why we went with them is because we do recognize it's very hard to break into this market, but it is a booming market. If you look at some of these exchanges and some of the volume coming out of especially Korea and Japan and China, if you look at the volume in there, it is a huge market, and all the analysts say that it is the fastest growing market. It's where you need to be. And this is a very well known, very reputable exchange in that area who specifically said like our goal is to help you get integrated into this market. We're going to be setting you up with PR teams, with marketing teams, and our core focus is going to be how to integrate you into this market.
Okay, let's see here. Another question. So this kind of steers away from talks of exchanges and globalization and whatnot, kind of going more towards our side projects. What are our plans for future esports tournaments?
J-Rocco?
Yeah, I can probably speak a little bit to that. So Fear is an avid gamer, avid Twitcher, avid everything. He's all about this environment, and he's actually taking the lead for Hoge to develop a league for us. So what does this mean? Well, maybe it starts internally. We start doing games against each other. Maybe it goes to whoever wins that game. We send to the next sponsorship round, and we pay for their entry fee. Maybe it's just having our own invitational where we host an event for all these different sports players to come on down and actually play in our league, in our prize pool, and we give out Hoges the prize. The nice thing about this is the community is going to be able to decide all this. When we have the boards up there, the nation.hoge.finance, give your input, because really at the end of the day, you guys are the one who's basically going to decide the future of esports, decide the future of NFTs and all the things that we do. So Hogeman posted there not too long ago. Go reply to it. Tell us what you think. I think currently there's a question up there on how do we decide votes? Is it based on wallet size, or is it decided on verification of KYCs? So take a look and give us your input. We'd love to hear it.
We do have a gaming channel down at the bottom end of the Discord server, so any of our community members that are looking to get more involved with that, feel free to reach out in the channels down in that area. I'm Not a Cat has a good question, kind of tying into our recent exchange listing and expanding into the Asian marketplace. Can we make our Discord more Korean, Japanese, Chinese friendly in preparation for receiving more holders? Lead language themed channels, etc.
Hell yes, that is a fantastic idea. I actually will say, Kfers, is that something we could potentially assign to you as our resident Discord admin? He might be on mute, but yeah. So yeah, absolutely, that is something we definitely should do. And that is a great suggestion.
Yeah, and the other thing that Wiser and the team were looking at today too was setting up an official Hoge WeChat, because we know that the Asian cultures really gravitate towards this channel, and so we want to make sure it's easy, remove any kind of barriers to entry for them, and just make it a really comfortable environment for new people coming into us. So yeah, great feedback there about the Discord for sure.
Absolutely.
Saint C asks, do we have any updates on the audit? Is there a reason why the Surtech is not showing any updates on a work in progress audit? Thank you.
Yeah, the again, the Hogeman, correct me if I'm wrong, but the date is public, right?
Yeah, it should be done the 24th. I think I saw in the chat that they updated the in progress indicator and apologized to us like 3 hours ago.
Yes, it's perfect timing for you to ask that.
Yeah, out there now, I think it says it's in progress, and we're looking to get done the next 2 to 3 weeks, if not sooner. So, good question.
Yes, yeah. It is. It should now be updated. I think Wasso actually called them today, so yeah, it's all good, and look forward to the 24th.
I mean, we could tell them about the RFI audit. If you want me, I know they hate it when I'm honest like this. RFI has the same code pretty much, and there's an RFI audit. That's the Reflect Finance audit from Certic. So whatever was found in that audit will also be in ours, and you can Google it. There's nothing exciting. So if you want to know what's going to happen on the 24th, it's going to be pretty much exactly that.
Hey man, there's excitement for everything for someone at some point.
I mean, it's literally going to be the same thing. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, go look for that if you're interested.
I'm going to swing over to the Twitch stream here, the Hoge.tv Twitch stream. Drawn Killer asks, my wife made an NFT with the Hoge playing poker with the other dog coins. What do you guys think about the art? I don't know if anyone here has seen that.
I love it. I've seen it. I enjoy it. I love it. When the NFTs come to market through our own foundation, I will be buying several of them, just because there's so many awesome projects you guys are working on, and really there's a couple I'm looking forward to. Right, so the first is definitely the poker. but the second are the memes that turn into NFTs, like the Arthur memes and the Sean memes. I'll be all about that.
Mm-hmm. I'm really stoked for the mint work that you guys have been working on with the NFTs. I think that's going to be a really cool project when we get that all up and going off the ground. There's a lot of cool artwork that the community's been putting out there.
Oh, absolutely. First time's always easy with software development, but when you want to expand it, that's when you got to put in the effort for the infrastructure, and that's what I've been doing.
Again, from the Twitch stream channel, Tikoa asks, any future plans with Chonker.finance?
Future plans. I mean, so the art is like 95% done from what I've seen from 3 Panel Comics. So with Chonker Finance, they're going to build us a staking pair, which is Hoge and Chonk. So you can stake Hoge and you'll be rewarded Chonk, and then you can turn your Chonk into fish, and then you can fish for NFTs. It's a whole thing. We need educational materials around. But the end result is you can pay Hoge for different NFTs that they are making, which is pretty cool. As far as future partnerships, I mean, or future deals, is we want to keep going with that partnership as long as possible. We think they've really got a unique system set up, especially because they're working on Gapachon, which means capsule toy in Japanese. So they've got a new system they're going to be deploying, and they offered to put us on that as well.
I do see a question, and Hoshman, I think you'd be perfect for this one, from Johnny TV. It says, with high gas fees, we've lost momentum regarding the price. I understand that you're thinking long term, but there's no long term if we keep the momentum towards the short. How do you plan to calm the FUD if BSC is not an option? Ethereum 2.0 is months away, and everyone is mumbling about future developments. What are your thoughts? I know you've done some recent stuff lately to help with the gas fees, right?
Yes, I have many thoughts on gas fees.
I think we all do.
But so the main way to get around it, quote unquote, around it, is to buy on a central exchange. So we have multiple pathways. You can get to Hoge for less than $1 now. They just involve central exchanges, so you have to be in the proper jurisdiction. If that is not available to you, because usually if you're in the US, you're complaining about high gas fees, there's also the level 2 solution. So we've been on multiple calls with the Polygon Matic team, and we're looking at deploying Hoge into their ecosystem. And they have a very nice product. I liked it when they explained it to me, and I think it's definitely something we will go expand into in the future. Just to hype them up a little, they do 20% of the transactions of the Ethereum network, on a daily basis. So they are like well set up to scale, and it is so cheap to use their network. Additionally, we ported Hoge to the XDAI network last weekend, maybe the weekend before. I don't remember. Days mean nothing. So if you want to, you can go buy on HoneySwap right now, and there isn't much liquidity there. So if you want to stake liquidity and earn those fees, you can do that. I posted a guide, but if you just wanted to get some Hoge to play around with, you can go to HoneySwap right now and purchase it with the XDAI token. So these are all multiple ways to get around paying the gas fees. Right now, I think Uniswap is still the top performer for Hoge. I think it still gets the majority of the transactions. And unfortunately, we have no control over Uniswap directly. And that's
also where new exchanges in terms of global penetration, like we were talking about, come into play, where pretty much our goal is to where anyone on earth, regardless of where they are, can log on to a local exchange and purchase, swap, what they want to do with Hoge. So that's also just, it comes a part of getting onto these bigger exchanges, like we're doing with BigOne.
Absolutely.
Hank Mardukas asks a good question regarding the exchange and the position thereof. I was under the impression that the new exchange wouldn't happen until the DA.O and legal were completed. Can you speak as to how this was achieved with this exchange?
Yeah, why is it?
Yeah, for me, okay, yeah. So it's really interesting. So over the entity, Marp, which is our fearless leader, did just gain the ability to sign off on behalf of Hoge. And sorry, actually, Wasso is looking to join. and to sign up on behalf of Hoge. And the second he was able to do that, that's what he did. We had this contract ready for him the moment he was able to do that, and that's what he did to help get us onto this exchange. That doesn't mean that legal is finished and the DAO is finished or anything like that, but it does mean that we were able to sign on to exchanges. Here, Waso is actually asking to join into the chat. Where is he at?
Ooh.
Oh, yeah, so once you're under registration in France, you can make some limited set of deals, including ones that have financial liability. And so that's what Marp is able to do now.
Which I should mention, by the way, the Certec audit, the lawyer fees, that's all being paid for by the devs and the core team. Not a penny has been raised by the community for this, and they've done such an amazing job of just footing that bill. I think even Wasso at one point spent like $10,000 to help foot this. Hojman and the rest of the team just been so amazing. I mean, Mark footed the bill, I think, for a lot of the lawyer fees as well. So, it just believes in this coin in this community, so, or this token in this community. So, it's such an awesome statement to just recognize. If we were just a short-term token, we wouldn't be doing this kind of foundational work. So, kudos to you guys. Y'all are doing awesome.
The community here really makes it what it is. So I think every single one of you guys need to be stoked about that. I know that.
Guys, can you hear me, by the way? It's Wasso.
What's up, Wasso?
Hey guys, how's everyone doing?
Wasso's calling from the back of a wedding right now.
I'm literally in my car now. I'm at a wedding with my wife, but I've had one AirPod in for most of this and just wanted to jump in and say hi for a bit. But I want to comment a little bit on that last question about how we were able to sign. It's actually kind of awesome. A lot of the developers have really stepped up. Marp specifically was able to have an organization registered, and through the creativity of himself and our CFO and our legal team, Olivier, they were able to find a way to sign this contract through a recently created entity and assign this contract to the nonprofit DAO-like entity that's being created currently in Switzerland within the next 90 days. So it was very creative, and it was honestly genius because we had committed to the team that we were going to get listed on an exchange, and we definitely wanted to make sure that happened, and definitely wanted to just reach out and say, a lot of creativity was done by our team.
Absolutely. One of my goals for future AMAs as well to kind of introduce our team to the Hoge community. I think it's kind of interesting that a lot of people don't realize just the sheer numbers in volume of support we have. We have a new developer room that has 30 developers in it. We have an amazing core developer room that's got 20 people in there. We have several marketing channels that have up to 50 people in them together. And so I like to definitely introduce some of our developers and our key players as we move forward, so you guys are just as comfortable with the project as we are, because it's amazing what's being done behind the scenes. Like, I never would have imagined 4 or 5 weeks ago to see this level of talent behind the other side. I knew they were a good group, but it blows my mind for sure. But yeah,
that's awesome. I've kind of seen this one float around a little bit, so I'm going to kind of combine two together. Rusty Spork asks, what are the goals the Hoge team has set to achieve for the long term, by the end of the year and beyond? I'm also going to tie in, what's the 5-year plan for Hoge? I think it's a good question.
For me, personally, which is something that I know Hojman and J. Rockman can speak to better than myself, but for me, it is use cases. To me, in 5 years, I see us like actually being able to have like a strong payment system that is integrated globally. I see us, obviously, I mean, it's not even a question of will we be on all the biggest exchanges, that it will be a definite. But more so, it's about what are our use cases, how are we providing like real tangible value to Hoge, and what are we doing to help the community, especially when it comes to a lot of our shared passions, like the charity with animal shelters and things like that. So for me, that's where I really see the 5-year plan going, is towards use cases and building the community.
Absolutely.
Notice here, I think I kind of want to expand on that a little bit. Aside from just like what the devs are doing on the background here, this just come from just another dude like all of you guys. Like, yeah, you kind of have to build that plan for yourself too. Like, what does Hoge in 5 years mean to you? You know, because like what I want out of Hoge might be entirely different than what the next dude might want out of Hoge. Might be entirely different than what Hogeman wants out of Hoge. But like, we're all in this together. You know, Hoge itself has its long-term plans, but you also have to have your own goals for that. You know, and I really think that Hoge can help you achieve whatever those kind of goals you want to set for yourself for those. So grab a shovel.
Grab a shovel. I will say this though. One of the things my wife and I talked about a lot since we came into Hoge is we want to set up a charity wallet for our church. You know, our church traditionally does not take anything but like cash and of course debit cards or whatnot through their monthly portal. But just put aside like 5 million Hoge and just leave it for 5 years and then give them that wallet later. I mean, who knows what it could be? Maybe it's 50 cents. Maybe. Just imagine the kind of the amount of money and people you can bless by doing this kind of thing, and two, what an amazing adventure to be able to give back, especially just doing it right now. It's what, $700-800 for that. So
I think it's around like, I think 5 million. I think is around 850 right now. It might have been gone up a little bit because we've been kind of bouncing up in the last 2 hours. But that's about. I put about that much down earlier, and I came out just under 5 million additional tokens. So $800 is really a great investment into a charity. If those that do donate into charity knows how that works, $800 is a pretty small amount in the vast scheme of things. And to see that long-term gain off of our redistribution, off of the burn, off of whatever hype we generate going forward, let alone all the projects that we have in the future, that 800, that 400, that $200 you put towards a charity now makes a big difference going forward to someone down the road. Just my 2 cents.
Yeah, that's excellent. So, I mean, what I'm looking for in Hoge ultimately is to be the model of investment decentralized finance. And truly, there is no one like Hoge right now. There is no one. And even though we get a lot of like publicity and flack from other tokens, they're not even close. So you're in an extraordinarily unique project. And so what I want to see in the next year is I want to bring in academic scholars who can look at this and explore the economics and explain it to other people so that we can franchise out how to grow a community. I want to put Hoge in space, which some of you may have seen. We have a small satellite team that is working on this. So we're going to put memes in space. That's one of my goals for the next year. Additionally, I want to solve the gas fees once and for all. I want Hoge to be on so many networks that you can go participate, trade, and enjoy whatever DApp or NFT or cool little community spawns there, so that you do not feel like you are beholden to Uniswap and your $80 to $100 gas fees. So that's what I'm looking at. And then one day I will be able to rest and the community will just do it all on their own.
I think that's going to happen a lot sooner than you think, my friend.
I hope.
Yeah, we all need to pitch in for Hogeman's vacation.
Yeah, agreed. He's put in a lot of hours into this project.
Yeah, we're the
Yeah,
okay, well, I think that's time. If anyone wants to stick around. We can keep answering questions, but if anyone has to go, that's all the time we really budgeted.
Yeah, so, thank you so much. Again, yeah, call to action, guys. This is your chance. Please get out there and spread the word about BigOne. Please get out there and we already have a whole collection of memes. Our very own Hoge historian has been collecting and creating BigOne memes. So you'll find him. He has access to them, and you'll see them online. Share them. Be sure to get the word out there.
I just want to say, from another guy in the community that I interact with you guys a lot on the Discord, I appreciate each and every single one of you guys. Keep it up. This channel is It's something else, man. I'm on a numerous amounts of different discords, and Hoge has really got something special going on. It's really you guys are the ones that make that. So kudos to you guys. Thanks for being here.
Thanks, man. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Really glad to be here.
Okay, well, I'm gonna hop off the voice chat, but I'll still probably answer a few in the AMA text chat if you guys keep posting. And thank you so much, Wiser and Jay Rocco. It's awesome. We're going on BigOne.
Hell yeah, man.
Thanks again for all you guys do. Again, thanks to the community for all your questions you've asked. It's been an awesome AMA, and we look forward to the next one with you guys.
See y'all later.
See you
Bye,
later.
guys.
Okay, thanks. Bye.